Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Kemia.
Welcome to the This and That. Come on. That? Oh.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Chat.
No.
Oh.
Welcome to the
This and That
chat. Why did I do it like that?
I don't know.
Welcome to the This and That chat. It's like a game show.
Do you think that you have a radio voice?
No. I don't think so.
Do you hear yourself in the podcast?
I hear the podcast.
Do you hate it?
No, I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it. I feel like I have... I don't know. My voice is not the ideal radio voice.
It's interesting because what does make the ideal radio voice, right? For me, I think that your voice has to be nice to listen to. And I think it's also in the way that you speak.
Okay.
It can't be, but like, they don't talk like that.
I don't feel like I do that.
I don't think that you do that
I have
either.
some of it. There's some of it that's in there when I
Sure.
speak, but I consciously am
Steer away from that.
steering away from that on purpose.
I personally enjoy listening to your voice. And I'm going to say this with all of the compliments in the world. I feel like listening to your voice puts me to sleep.
You're welcome.
Okay. And so you might say, oh, because I bore you. No. I just feel like there's a tenor to your voice that is comforting for me. So I love it when you're on this super long phone call and I'm just snuggling with you. And then all of a sudden, without even realizing, I've fallen asleep. I just enjoy listening to that. You know the guy we don't enjoy listening to? Mm-hmm. The guy who does part of the commentating on UFC for pay-per-view.
Oh, the guy that talks like
yes,
this?
Yes, him.
He goes, tonight
Contender Series.
Yeah. He's like, tonight we're going to have these guys. They're fighting here today.
That would jar me. I would be asking, please.
How's my impression of him?
Talking.
How's my impression of him?
Incredibly accurate.
It's pretty accurate. I know that I do it exactly like him because it's so annoying that it's in my
mind. So is that a
mind.
radio voice? Does he have a personality now?
He has a personality that is known because he's the betting guy. So, I don't know who he's helping to win money because we haven't.
I mean, isn't betting all just a 50-50 anyway?
Yeah, but you have like a 75-25. I'm on the like 60-40 and the 60%
and what is the difference
isn't the winning
between
side.
You and me when it comes to placing bets?
You're wild in your bets.
I'm going on vibes and feelings. For example, yesterday I bet on someone who was not favored to win, but I felt that the other guy strutted into the octagon a little too cocky, and I feel that you have to maintain a humble spirit when you're fighting because one perfectly placed hit, nobody can outrun that. It's going to take the best of you down. So when you go in there super cocky and everything, it just sort of rubs me the wrong way. The other guy was serious, disciplined, like there was a sacredness to what he was doing. Remember, he was the guy who came in, he was like connecting himself to like the universe, like literally he was doing like weird things with his hand. I was like, I don't know what all of that is, but I'm not buying it. And even though you're the favorite to win, and it was a good payout for me.
It was. Now, mind you, let's have a disclaimer here. Mm-hmm. We're not betting hundreds of dollars.
No, $5.
We're doing like $5 a fight.
Yeah.
We're just having a little bit of fun.
As long as I get $1 more than I put in, I'm happy because I'm positive.
You definitely have a lot more green on your bet slip than I do. Now, let's break that down.
Okay.
So you have won. I think you're positive like 40 something bucks,
Yeah.
and I'm in the hole. Like I think it's 83 bucks. So I bet a little bit more
Aggressively.
I think.
Right. Which
Yeah.
means you're going to get a better payout than I'm going to
If I hit.
if you hit, right? I have a rule. I'm never going to go over the amount that I have won. So even though I am up $40, I'm never going to get to a point where I bet 50 because I'm only up $40. So only those $40 are available to me to bet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And that's so I made that extra money and I don't feel like I'm losing that money. You know, do you understand what I'm saying? I came in with a certain amount and that amount is safe and secure. I'm only playing with what I win.
So let's talk about my bet today.
Okay.
So I have taken to on Sunday. I bet $20 on the football games, and then
Do you spread them out, or is
I
it like
spread it
one
out.
solid?
No,
20?
I have like a 10 here, a 5, whatever.
Okay.
And it's just to kind of engage a little bit more with the games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where I have had some good payouts is with baseball, and I'll do that with a parlay where I put a couple different things together. And that's been fun because I really enjoy baseball, and then I get pissed off because somebody who should
Somebody
have
messed
done something
up for you.
missed on it. So, so today, sorry, that was special. So today, I have 2 bets that I decided to do, and I split it up between the 1 o'clock games
Okay.
and then the 4 o'clock games.
Okay.
So I did my research, and I put together something that I thought would be pretty good, and I'm actually not doing too bad. On my bets, but I have one guy that I thought for sure was gonna hit today, and he has 0 receiving yards.
Oh
And,
gosh.
And the game, okay, I'm gonna hit. So I did a parlay where I put a few things together, where there's an anytime TD for one guy with a certain amount of yards. He already has the yards. He already has the TDs. Okay, that was my hardest one. The other one was passing yards for a quarterback. He's in the end of the first quarter. He already has half of what he needs for the entire game. So I feel pretty good. And then I have a wide receiver, okay, Tyreek Hill for the Miami Dolphins, who I figured that guy can get 55 yards today.
Sure.
It's no big deal, right? He has 0 yards.
Walk in the park. Is he playing?
He's playing. But apparently he's just running around the field
Oh wow.
because I don't know what's
maybe
going on.
they're covering him too.
I made a boo-boo.
Well,
and now
either way,
I'm gonna pay for it unless he like
yeah. I mean,
magically-
what quarter are they in?
let's see, Miami Dolphins. And I had to do the Dolphins. I don't know why. But I did. It's 7-0 at the end of the second quarter.
So
But they're doing, oh my God, so bad.
I only bet on UFC. That's it. I
Yes.
save it for pay-per-view night to have something to play with. And then I literally go on just my guts and my feelings.
Oh my God, he's not playing. Are you kidding me right now?
See? Why would he have 0?
Oh, he's there. He's there.
Apparently, I didn't know it then.
He's just
Not playing. Okay.
He's
Moving
just
on.
not. What in the world? Why would I do this to myself?
But isn't it interesting? You're staying true to who you are, right? Because even when we game, I game more reserved and patient, and you're more about going out into the chaos and getting yourself killed.
Yes.
100 times, right? But that's how you play. This is how you bet. You bet aggressively. You take chances. I feel that I'm the type of person who I'd rather take the snail's pace to getting positive, right? Because to me, It's a big deal. Hey, I didn't lose. I got 25 cents. 25 cents I didn't have before. And to you, you're like,
we're having fun though.
We are. And it's so much fun.
We are having fun with it.
And now, yesterday you said something that was funny, was that you said you had money on both sides. So you needed someone to do something on one side, but you also needed them to lose. So I feel like you're getting yourself into little jams that are very interesting.
Well, no, it's because it's hits. It's like, it's strategic. Like the other team's going to hit the ball. They're gonna get.
I mean, we have seen 0 games.
I know, but they're gonna get, like, they have to make some hits unless it's a no hitter, and if it's a no hitter, I'll give them my $5 because they deserve it. But you know, like, you kind of cheering on both sides. So like when you're watching the game, you're not just heavy handed on one side or the other. The Braves aren't in, so our team is not there for us to cheer. You know, so. Well, why not have a little bit of fun with it?
And speaking of baseball, we had the opportunity to go to the most incredible game that I personally have ever been to in my whole entire life. We went to go see
the Savannah Bananas against the Party Animals.
And anybody who knows anything about baseball, I think, knows the Savannah Bananas.
Yes, and if you don't know baseball, if you don't care about baseball,
you would
go in and just search Savannah Bananas. Now, mind you, the game started at 7 o'clock. They have a set of rules for this game. It's called Banana Ball. So these are professional baseball players who are in a pro league that has decided to make baseball fun.
That's what they
say.
So
baseball, listen, I love baseball.
Look, like my brother-in-law, Rudy, he's very adamant that baseball is the most boring sport out there.
Right.
I feel like he would love, especially with his energy and his wild.
Well, even for me, so
he's very excitable.
I love baseball. I have a like reverence to the original game. I know that it's long. I know that it's boring. You don't need to tell me.
I don't find it boring.
It is though. There are games where it could just be
a lot of people find
horrific.
Soccer boring as well. I don't find it boring.
So with me saying, like, I'm telling you, it's long, it's boring. It's just the nature of the game. There are intricacies in it that if you really love the game, you don't mind that it takes that long, right? But even the Major League Baseball League has added in rules to move the game along. They have a pitcher's clock. You can't step out of the box. Like, there's like different things that they've done. But the games are still like 2.5 hours, 3 hours long. And I think the fastest game so far with the new rules implemented was like 2 hours and 24 minutes. But the Savannah Bananas created Banana Ball that has a 2-hour rule. The game starts at 7 o'clock, and at 1 hour and 50 minutes, you finish where you're at. Whatever's going on, if you're in the middle of an inning, you finish that inning. If you're about to start an inning and it's 1 hour and 51 minutes in, game's over. They stop it. That's the rule. That's where they stop. But they've also implemented different rules. There's no walks. There's no bunting. There's no stepping out of the box. Oops, sorry about that. I got noise coming in from the feedback. There you go. They put a bunch of stuff in there. And then they decided that they wanted to fill in every single minute of the game with whatever.
Shenanigans.
It's absolute insane shenanigans.
For example, one thing that stood out to me, the music never stops. It's like a party the entire time. And it's all the good songs. And they'll just play enough to get you dancing, to get the players dancing, sometimes choreographed dances amongst all of them, or just one, and then the other one joins in, and then they move on to the next song.
The other players are not in the dugout. They're just laying on the floor all over the place. They've got camera guys running through the field taking pictures of stuff going on. The first base coach is a breakdancing first base coach. The guy does nothing for the game. All he does is breakdance the entire game.
The mascot was sitting over there by where the home run field in the park is at. Mm-hmm. You know, that green.
Yeah, just like sitting on the side of on he climbed up on the on the wall, and he's just sitting in the outfield. You know, they're doing backflips as they catch the ball.
Trick shots.
Yeah, like the pitcher is like stripping down to his
yeah, because they played "It's Getting Hot in Here."
Yeah,
and all of a sudden everybody's like
pieces of clothing and throwing it around, and in the middle of him taking off clothing, he pitches the ball. Like, the umpire is twerking while they're getting ready to pitch the ball.
If a good song comes out, it's like the songs he likes. Some guy came out to hit the ball on stilts.
Yeah.
Stilts.
The world's tallest batter.
And he ran. He played. It wasn't like, oh, tag, you're in. Some guy came out with a motorcycle helmet on. I mean,
An astronaut helmet on.
I was talking about the bike helmet.
Oh, to run the bases.
Yes.
And then they had one of the batters. He goes to bat with an astronaut helmet on. And then
some guy was playing the piano before he hit. It was his turn.
Mm-hmm. They did a rendition of the Grease song, and they had the pitcher coming out like dressed in a leather jacket, and his hair is all greased back, and and
he pitched like that.
Mm-hmm. And as they were like going through, they're like the part of the song where it's like, tell me more, and all of the players on both sides are laying on their stomachs, and they're kicking their legs up and down, like, what is going on?
Yes.
And then the cool thing about it was, so we got there at 5:30.
Which that's when the pre-game stuff started.
So thinking we're going to be okay getting there at that time.
Boy, were we wrong.
We were so wrong. We were late. The game doesn't start till 7.
And they said get here at 5:30 because that's when the pre-game stuff starts.
We were late.
So much so that a parking garage that is never sold out was sold out.
Well, the Lone Depot Park, which is where the Marlins play, they were so rattled by the amount of people. They were rattled. They had no idea what was going on. It was absolute chaos. The park did not have control. They did not have any control. Everything was, the lines for food were out of whack. It just was. I've never ever seen that park
surprisingly
loaded
though,
the way
I
it was.
didn't see anyone shut down because they ran out of food. So at least they prepared in that way.
Well, they ran out of trays.
They were giving people boxes.
Giving people boxes, like building boxes in the back of the food that they were breaking down to make. Like they just were doing whatever they could do.
The lines
to make it happen.
Gear.
Oh my goodness!
I've never seen that when we go for any of the teams that are visiting or anything.
We spent $120 to go and buy. Savannah has a little bit of our heart.
Yes.
So when it's naturally the Savannah Bananas, we're gonna go cheer for the Savannah Bananas, and we got there. Mind you, it was pouring rain. It didn't stop anybody from going. So
People were walking in the rain to get to, because we had to park at a school.
Yeah, down the street. And so we get there and we walk in, and I look over at Ketmi and I'm like, you want something from the gear? And she just smiles and was like, yes. We went and we stood in line. We got shirts and I got a hat. And Ketmia had posted on social media that we were at the game, and somebody called us, and they were like, "Get me a shirt! Get me a shirt!" It's like,
because I forgot to say, you can't just go online and buy tickets for their game.
right.
It's a lottery that you win, and so you submit your request for how many tickets, and then they have a drawing until they fill the spots. They just keep drawing names.
They sold out in one day for the Miami. We missed out.
Because we missed that email.
Yeah. And I found secondhand tickets. I paid a ridiculous amount of money for those tickets because I wanted to go so bad. They have a set ticket price. Their ticket price, no matter where you sit, is $35.
Which, again, unheard of for...
Yeah. They don't care about... Like, they're making their money everywhere else. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that now. But their concentration is on getting this together. And the owner of the Savannah Bananas, he says that they're not... He doesn't own a baseball team. He's part of an entertainment group. He's in the business of entertainment, not in the business of baseball. And that's what makes it so much fun. And he says that the pregame, they have things that they do in every single game, but they do something new in every single game. They had 83 games last year. So you're talking about there's 4 to 6 things that they do brand new in every single game. 80, like they have to have a crew of people that are just thinking about stuff all the time. Mm-hmm. And they have just created this following that is absolutely insane. So much so that the game that we went to was the season and like the season finale. Mm-hmm. And they had a cruise planned for the Savannah Bananas, the Party Animals. There's 4 teams right now that they have. Well, 3 that played this year, and they're adding a 4th team next year. And they took all the teams and everyone from the offices and everything. They took them on this cruise, and they let fans know it's the Banana Cruise, and they sold out a Royal Caribbean ship with Savannah Banana fans. They literally took over the cruise. And there's pictures of everyone in their Savannah Bananas gear and all the players in their uniforms, and they're all dancing on the sail away party. Like, Royal Caribbean looked like it was out of place too, because they're not the party ship.
Right. And
all of a sudden they got these crazy people on there.
And here was the thing I just wanted to say, because you mentioned that we were late. What ended up happening was that we didn't get to our chair until 7:25. Mm-hmm. We almost missed the start of the game.
No, 6:25.
No.
The game started at 7.
Oh, at 7, yes.
We got there right before the first pitch.
The first pitch, yes, that's what I thought it started at 7:30. Yes, but like right before was when we finally made it, because after buying stuff, we went to go get food, which was a whole other line. And then we finally made it to our chair. And
let me tell you.
And we missed out on a lot.
We missed so much stuff. We could see it in the screens. They were like constantly showing. Like, they have this group of old ladies called the Banana Nanas, and they were out there dancing. And then they have the Banana Mans, which is a group of 40-something-year-old guys that are dressed inappropriately, and they're out there dancing in Daisy Dukes and stuff. And
the baby race
in the middle of the second inning. Mm-hmm. I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
You asked me, why didn't we have a 7th inning stretch?
Oh, okay.
They have a 2nd inning stretch.
Oh, that's
interesting. We were so confused as to what was going on. We missed a lot of stuff. And I even told you that when we left, I was like, I would need to go to like 5 or 6 games so that I can understand what the heck was going on.
Right.
Because
that's the
so
thing.
much.
We understand baseball, and we didn't even understand. I feel like I only got.
We didn't understand. We couldn't wrap our head around everything that was going on.
The thing is, right, it was too many lights going on at the same time. You've got these people dancing over here. You've got the game going on. You've got, a raffle going on here. There was just so much going on that it was a little overwhelming. It's not like your typical game where you're just focused on that.
Right. And we would be like watching the right fielder who has a cape on running around in circles in the outfield in the middle of the ball being pitched, and he's acting like Superman, in the middle of the field, and there's a marching band with a big tuba and trombones, and they're walking around the racetrack. Like, what in the world is going on? We just could not. We couldn't.
What I
get it.
did love was that the players made it all the way up, because we were not sitting where we normally sit.
No, we
which is much closer.
We got the nosebleed sections in the nosebleed section. We were all the way at the top.
And yet we could see everything.
Yeah, and we enjoyed the game. Mm-hmm. But
they made it all the way up there.
Yeah, they had and it wasn't just like they sent some random guy. No, they literally sent players,
the ball players
off of the field. It's
to
guys that we watched. Guys that we watched playing are now up there, and they're taking pictures and signing autographs and playing with the bubble machine. The banana princess came up. They made it a point to have the same experience whether you were on the field or at the top. And that was the part that I thought was the most incredible. Well, so much so that it intrigued me to get a little bit more information about it. And I think on Monday, I read the book of everything that had to do with what.
Well, it's an autobiography.
It's an autobiography by the
owner.
Talking about their culture and what they do and how they do it different and all that kind of stuff. And I was so impressed that I told Ketmia, I'm ready to sell my business, move to Savannah, and go work for this guy because he's an absolute genius. They sit in meetings and they don't talk about money. They don't talk about bottom line. They don't talk about anything except how was the fan experience. Everything is all about the fan. They call it fan first. And there were stories where they talked about things that they did and how they involved, the players and all that stuff. And I was so impressed at how they did it because they literally have a culture that they have developed that no matter what is going on, it's always the fan first. And I felt that at the game. Everything had something to do with making it a cool experience. There is not one person in that entire ballpark that left that didn't see a player up close, that didn't see something happen, that didn't see one of the rules that they added.
Felt like they were there for us, not the other way around.
One of the rules that they add is that if you catch a foul ball in the stands, it's an out on the field. And one of the guys on the stands caught the foul ball. And the owner, not somebody else, no, the owner, the main guy, Jesse Cole, went into the stands, grabbed that guy, brought him and his entire family. He didn't just bring him. He brought his kids, his wife, who knows, there was 10 people that he must have been there with. Every single person was out on the field on the first baseline, and he introduced him to the crowd and said, "This is the guy that caught the foul ball." And the crowd went crazy. They were cheering for him and all this kind of stuff, and then he just put him back in the stands.
That was another thing we've been to many games for different things. Like we've been to a Heat game, we've been to Dolphin games, we've been to Marlin Park, and nowhere have I ever heard the roar of the crowd the way that you heard it here. They were so good about hyping up the crowd
And it didn't
that
stop.
I think outside,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was just wondering, because there had to be Marlin personnel there. That there had to be.
100%.
And they must have just felt like, I don't know. If I were them, I would be wondering, what's the secret sauce? How do they do this?
Well, they even said it in the book that they have gone to, because they now have started going to Major League Baseball parks, because where they play, it's called Grayson Field in Savannah, only holds 4,000 people. So they were having trouble getting people to come in. Plus, Grayson Park has season ticket holders. So you've got the same people coming through. And there was such a demand that they needed to start doing this tour. And they started going through to Major League Baseball parks. They went to 36 parks. And all 36 parks were sold out. Okay? Now, here's the stat that is absolutely crazy. 34 of the 36 Major League Baseball parks that they went to had never seen a sold-out crowd.
That's insane.
34 of the 36.
That's insane.
How crazy is that? Like, those executives were looking around and saying, what in the world?
What in the world? I mean, they just have something magical about them. They have something fresh. They have something fun. And I feel that if you're a kid or if you're a grandparent, you're going to go to that and have a blast. It's chaos, but it's organized.
Were you the one who told me they were selling standing tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even know the park had standing tickets.
I think they made them up.
I was thinking, where the Budweiser sign is
Over
in the back?
in the back.
I was wondering if that's it, because I don't even know where the standing only room is.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know you could have standing room only. But I did have a moment where I looked at one of the security guys that was standing there, and I'm thinking, you are one person in this entire area. Right? If this became an unruly crowd, it is so severely understaffed security-wise, right? But I almost felt that everybody who was coming in with like a jovial spirit.
It was different.
Even
fans were talking to fans. Everyone's high-fiving, having a good time.
And that was the thing. There were moments even with their, quote-unquote rival team that they're playing in which they would break out into dance together. So there was just like we're all friends playing each other sort of feeling.
We didn't get to see it, but one of the things that it's not a written rule, but one of the things that they do is if a player gets hit by a ball, if a player gets hit by a pitch, then the both benches clear and they go and they have a pillow fight at the mound. So they pull out.
See?
They bring out a bunch of pillows that they must have stashed somewhere in the.
Dang! I wish I would have seen that. I wonder if there was feathers in them.
And then they make a huge mess. And that's the thing. It's not they didn't care about any of the mess. They didn't care about any of that kind of stuff. The one batter from the other team, from the Party Animals, he goes out there and he has a dollar bill machine, and he starts shooting. I'm sure it was fake money, shooting fake money all throughout the sky, And then the umpire is starting to twerk, and there's money just laid all over the floor. They never picked it up. Mm-hmm. There was silly string that was being thrown.
When the other team won, they brought these cannons. I wasn't sure what they were going to do, but it was so that they could have their confetti moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
they had a choreographed
and it's really for
dance.
the camera.
Yeah.
But we're seeing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I was just thinking, not only do you have to practice baseball, you have to practice your dance
your dances
moves.
and all that kind of stuff.
You can't be I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can be an introvert and play for them.
No, I don't think so. But anyways, that was
The Bat Boy.
definitely, yeah, dressed up as Batman.
I mean, it's like
I didn't tell you the story about the coach, the kid that has the half number on it.
okay, yeah.
So Jesse Cole had gone to a conference when right in the middle of COVID, and he said that there was no handshakes, there was nothing that was going on. Everyone was doing the fist bump during that time, but there was a guy that said, "I'm giving high fives and sanitizing between each one." So the guy literally had a bottle. He would sanitize, high five, sanitize, high five, and that's what he was doing. And it gave him an idea. When he came back, he put in a job post, professional high fiver. And he says that people came in and they auditioned, and he just said, he goes, "I'm not getting the energy that I want." So he says that he started putting it out there to try and find out, who he could bring in to that. And this kid was 5 years old at the time, or 6 years old at the time. He came in and he just naturally, it was in the game. It was just when they had just started opening up. They were doing half capacity, social distancing, all that kind of stuff. But he came up to Jesse Cole and he's like, "Hey, I know you." And he gave him a high five. And he says that he gave him a high five with so much enthusiasm that he talked to his mom and said, "Would you mind if he just gives high fives today? We're going to give him, a sanitizer bottle, and he can just go around and just energize the crowd." And the kid was for it. And he did that for the rest of that season, the shortened season that they did. But for the next season following, he came in and he goes, "I think that you should play this guy and you should do this because he's better when he plays first base." And he just gave him a whole stuff. And he says, "How funny would it be if I put all the stuff that he's saying to do?" And he goes, "You got it. I'm going to do it." And he went out there. He implemented everything that the kid said. And they won the game. So the next game, he had a jersey made for him. And now he's coach, whatever. I forgot the kid's name. And he's number half. And he's become such a staple of the team. He sits in the dugout. He goes to the after game.
And how old is he now?
He's 9.
Okay, because Savannah Bananas is pretty new.
Yeah. So he sits in the dugout. He coaches the team. They call him coach. They interview him in the after the game interviews, and like the kid's witty. So there's a sound bite where the kid says, he's like, "Listen, I'm just the coach. I tell them what they need to do, and if they don't do it, I can't do nothing except sit them in the next game." Like there's just like little things that he does, and he's become such a part of the team. And his mom actually put him as they homeschooled him, and he traveled with the team for the entire world tour.
Wow.
And they said that he's an employee of the Savannah Bananas, and he is one of the most loved. He goes out there, he takes batting practice with the guys. He tells them, what they need to do. The guys sit down and they do homework with him to make sure that he's done with his homework so that he can be a part of the game. Like, who does that stuff?
Right.
Anyways, I know
what a cool community.
On.
I know. And so for everybody who hates baseball or who hates betting, the entire episode is pretty much moot.
If you're still here, then you don't mind it.
Oh, man. But yes, anyway, it's for us, right?
It is.
But it's Halloween season.
Yes.
And just to turn a corner there, we have really outdone ourselves with our Halloween display this year, I would say. Wouldn't you?
I would say yes.
I don't know if in any of the prior podcasts we talked about getting the groundbreaker that's gone viral on social media. It's so funny how social media influences so much, to the point where sometimes I see something and I have to do independent research to see is it really as good as you're telling me? Because that's the thing, right? There's a trust that is had when someone tells you, I've tried everything for my dry lips and I'm using this and it has changed my life. And you're like, oh my gosh, I have the same problem. I have tried several things. Let me buy that, right? So I get very wary when somebody post something like that and then they have a link for their shop, because I'm thinking, oh, you're selling it. If you were telling me this and you tell me, hey, this is where I bought it, but I know that so and so sells it as well, more believable, right? I'm thinking you're not really making anything out of this. You don't have any stock in this, so I can trust that a little bit more. But we just went to Lowe's to go get the little miniature Lowe's bucket because I am so obsessed with miniature things for people who don't know.
It's so dumb. It's a little 98-cent miniature bucket.
Lowe's bucket.
It's literally a miniature Lowe's
That's
bucket.
it.
With
That's
no
it.
other use.
Nothing. No cover. Nothing like, no use whatsoever. I mean, maybe you could put
painting.
pencils.
It's for painting.
Oh, for what?
Like, when you go and you need a little bucket so you can paint?
Stop it.
That's what it's for.
Oh my gosh. And the funny thing is that you saw online when we showed up, there weren't any. And we just happened to find the last two that they had in the store. And we passed people who were talking about, the little bucket.
Where do you have the little bucket?
And this is because it's a thing on social media right now. So all this to say that several businesses, I don't know if Costco's the only one, but I think I saw it somewhere else as well, was selling a groundbreaker.
Party City, but it was a pumpkin, not
okay, but this skeleton was from Costco. And I got a coworker of mine to lend me her card so I could go to Costco to see if we could get this groundbreaker, because it's unlike any skeleton I've ever seen. Not only, I would say that it's more than life size, because it's like it's a monstrous size, big. Right? But it just looks like it's coming out of whatever you stick it. So my brother, who has his Halloween and Christmas prop YouTube channel, it's really a DIY channel for just decorations and stuff. He put his on the roof and he made it look like it was breaking out of the house, which is incredible. But you had the idea to put it in our hedge under the window, like it's coming out of the hedge, and it's perfect. So that, I feel, was central to our design for Halloween this year, which we normally go with, couple little pumpkins. It's really, I think in the past, it's been more of a fall display that people have come for.
And last year we got a couple skeletons and we kind of posed them
just
in the corner.
Just a couple little things. But this one was central. So we ended up spending a pretty penny, I'd say, on the 10-foot skeleton that talks, on multiple life-size skeletons, and just putting them to do different things. We shopped at different places. Like At Home has really become a signature stop for decorations. This is a new store for us that we didn't have in the past.
They have nine skeletons.
Imagine
of the
life-size ones.
The life-size ones. And then the I call them baby size.
Right. Yeah. They're just little.
Yeah,
they're just
littles.
They're not life size. They're just miniature. Not miniature. They're just smaller.
Like 2.5
skeletons. Foot. Yeah. But even with the tombstone, so we created sort of a cemetery that comes alive kind of thing, with all the skeletons doing something. We found a Halloween store online in which we got 2 skeletons carrying a coffin with nothing inside. We put a skeleton inside.
Oh, I forgot those guys.
Right? So we put a skeleton inside. And so we just set everything up, to be a happening scene outside. And so we're very excited about Halloween. I know we've talked about Halloween before and how our neighborhood just has a lot of people who come through here. We've got fog. We've got candy. I feel like
a
we
strobe
are,
light in the corner, purple lights going up
we
against.
never did the thing with the thunder light.
I got it because it's got to be done through the music.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that there's other things we haven't set up yet. We have a little problem with that electrical box outside. We turn one thing off and the whole thing goes down. So
We are putting a lot into it.
but it's cool. I love what we've done this year, and so we're already on a fast track to the end of the year. It's crazy.
And you're not going to talk about the other part?
Which other part?
The fact that Halloween is up, but our house is full of Christmas trees and...
Well, but anyone. See, I think that you're just a little late to the party when it comes to decorating.
I'm not being late to the party. I'm just saying we have upped our game.
We are ready. So we for this year, for the first time ever, I have a life-size Santa and a life-size reindeer.
Bro,
First
where
time
in the world
ever
is a 10-foot Santa life-size?
He's 8.5 feet.
How many 8.5-foot people do you know?
None, actually.
So
None.
then...
But is he 8.5 feet? Because he's a little wide. I
he's
think they
8.5
put him...
feet. He's tall.
He's tall. Well, Santa is magical, though. He's going to be taller. Larger than life. He's larger than life.
And so is the reindeer.
I'm so excited. Oh, my gosh. No, actually, I think
that
the
reindeer's
reindeer.
huge.
Yeah. Have you seen a moose? You know, a moose and a reindeer are...
They're cousins?
They're cousins, okay? Have you seen a moose walking past a car? It looks like an elephant is coming by.
Okay. I'll give you that. Life-size reindeer. I'll give you that.
Life-size reindeer. Oh, my gosh. We bought trees. We're going to set up a forest scene. And that's going to be amazing. And we've quickly realized that we don't have room for all of this stuff.
What, to pack it away?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
No, but even to store it right now, the entrance of our house is we've created a little tunnel.
Because I'm not gonna, I
to
haven't
get
moved,
to and from.
Because I haven't moved everything back to the...
I guess. But it's exciting. I love the holidays. I love this time of year. The weather is changing. The sun is going down earlier, which I know that you love so much.
Oh, yeah.
So it's off to...
Makes my work harder.
I know it does. But great times.
Good times. Anyways, I think we're going to have a shorter episode this time.
Yeah, well, that's how it is sometimes.
Yes. And I think I'm going to go and make another drink.
Bro.
What? Listen, we invented two. Was yours not good?
Oh, yeah, it was good.
All right. So we invented two drinks. Different ones. And they were delicious.
I think we're still in cruise mode. Sometimes I still feel like we're on the cruise. Do you ever feel that?
Well, we're getting ready for the next one.
I think that's what it is. We're on this hiatus. That's why it wasn't so terribly sad to get off, because we know we're going on another one.
Yep, I guess. All right, I guess that's it.
Alrighty. So until next time.
Goodbye.